Here comes a situation. This farm here suffered a lot. You know, I always talk about stocking. Stocking is something we think is easy, but in actual sense, it is the hardest thing in goat farming. Where we are right now, I told you I took a route of north. So this is around Karuma. So we stocked these goats, and where they came from, the situation was okay. None was sick, but when they reached here, the ones we selected, they started reacting. What does that mean? An animal can contain a disease, can have a disease, and it can manage it because it is in a situation where it is used and it cannot react. But if you ship an animal from one place to the other, their body immunity lowers because of that stress. And then, if there is any disease that an animal is managing in the body, it will definitely react because the body itself, its immunity has lowered and it can no longer contain that disease. We have ability of managing the disease when you're eating well, when you're in a usual situation. But when you move from one place to the other, that might affect your immunity. So that's what happened here. We lost many goats actually, around 32. But the farmer was very strong. He said, no, I have to insist. And I always had to advise and say, no, don't worry. Let's manage the situation. We'll normalize. But of course, it did. Look at what we have right now. It's really an amazing project. These are converters. They have started their work of converting. Look, that's what makes me smile all the time. But briefly, let me talk about one thing that might cause a loss for the farmers. Or actually for the farmers, because we deny or we take things easy or we take them to be expensive rather than some other things. Let me give you an example. Vaccination of an animal is very simple and it is cheaper than treating an animal. But in some cases, most of the time, things that disturb us, the diseases that are disturbing us, they are vaccinatable diseases. The disease that you can vaccinate and you don't see issues. So what do we mean by that? I'm just trying to bring up your mind to understand. When I have an animal, and that animal is with me, when do I have to vaccinate it? And which vaccines am I supposed to follow? Like, if you have an animal and they are not vaccinated for CCPP, PPR, Clostridium, Brucella, then pox, you're not in the right condition, in the right project actually, let me say like that. Because there is no way how you will stop that pandemic if it starts. If these animals were not vaccinated, they were all going to die. But because they had that immunity, they were already vaccinated. The disease came in, but the animals at least had some antibodies that would help them cope up with the antibiotics, and then they fight over that disease. So this is the situation. That's why you see some died and the rest stayed. So this farmer, according to what he saw, he can never stay with an animal minus vaccination. Vaccination is very simple. If we take it serious in the country, we shall never lose animals. And that is doable. It's something that we can do. You get? So make sure when you're thinking about animals, think about vaccination as a first priority. Think about spraying as a second priority. Think about deworming as a third priority. Then let your manager feel what you're doing. So basically, that is what I can talk about in this kind of situation. But look at what you have here. perfect.
What if I couldn't speak?
Thank you very much.
What if I couldn't eat?